What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, and I'm back at y'all with another one. So, many people have hit me up and they asked me my thoughts on this situation. I wasn't going to respond to, I wasn't going to acknowledge it, I wasn't going to address it or say anything. And that's between Olympic silver medalist, undefeated 3-division world champion, former unified super featherweight, and reigning WBC lightweight world champion, superstar boxer, Shakur Stevenson, who has 23 wins, no loss, no draw, 11 wins by way of knockout at 27 years of age. And a guy he perceives to be his little brother in undefeated WBO lightweight world champion, superstar boxer, Keyshawn the businessman Davis, who has 13 wins, no loss, no draw, 9 wins by way of knockout, 26 years of age, 5'9" with a 70-inch arm reach. Now, they both going into big fights, arguably the biggest fight of their career. I would say for Shakur, the biggest fight of his career was the Oscar Valdez fight, right? Unification bout, undefeated, big name. That was the biggest fight, in my opinion. And Keyshawn is going into the biggest threat perceived of his career. Not the biggest fight, because I think the biggest fight was his last fight when he beat the undefeated Dennis Baranchik for the WBO title, his first world championship. Now, he's going to face off against a guy Shakur faced off against, and Edwin De Los Santos, who Shakur Stevenson had his worst performance, I would say, right, by his standards, by his method. And that was due to an injury, a hand injury, right? But he still dominated the fight. I believed he was going to chop Edwin De Los Santos up. Shakur Stevenson was. But he had the hand injuries, right? Nonetheless, he won the fight, and it wasn't the most pleasing to the fans, right? But with that said, they have a relationship, close relationship. And Douglas Fisher of the Ring magazine dropped his top 10 lightweights, and he ranked them 1 to 10, right? And Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis took offense to the rankings. Now, I took offense to the rankings, but not for the same thing that they took offense to the rankings. Because for one, it's each its own. But when you look at it, if we look at the rankings, okay, this is how Douglas Fisher, and we know Dougie Fisher has had issues, just outlandish views on his rankings and who he views as number one. But again, because the boxing is subject to opinion, okay? It's the Wild Wild West, right? And it's just subject to opinion. It just is what it is, right? And it's your personal preference. It shouldn't be, but it is. So at number one, Douglas Fisher has Gervonta Tank Davis. No surprise there. At number two, he has Keyshawn the businessman Davis. This is where it gets interesting. At number three, he has Shakur Stevenson. At number four, he has William Zepeda. At number five, he has Raymond Muratalla, who is now the IBF lightweight champion because Lomachenko is suffering and dealing with possibly a career-ending back injury. So he's the IBF champion, but Lomachenko's not on this list because we don't know if he's even going to box again. So he got Raymond Muratalla at number 5. At number 6, they got Andy Cruz. At number 7, they got Frank the Ghost Martin. At number 8, they got Dennis Baranchik. At number 9, he got Tevin Farmer. And at number 10, he has Sam Nokis. Now, I think that Tevin Farmer had a great showing of himself. And Tevin Farmer, I thought, beat William Zepeda in the first fight. He dropped him, and I thought he won. And I thought the second fight, they immediate rematch in March, and I thought it should have been a draw. So I respect Tevin Farmer be on there. Sam Noakes, does he deserve to be on there, on this list? Right? right? But okay, Sam Noakes is on there. He's undefeated. 17 wins, no loss, no draw. 15 wins by way of knockout. Out of the UK, British superstar, star boxer. Okay, we'll give you Sam Noakes. The issue that they have, Keyshawn responded. He says, "Thanks for the rankings. Appreciate the recognition, but that's not essentially. It's not what he's defending it because he don't want Shakur Stevenson to be offended. Period. Point blank and period. That's the reason why Keyshawn Davis is defending it, because Keyshawn Davis is thoughtful. Keyshawn Davis has a big heart. He loves the people. He's loyal. He loves the people around him, his brothers. He don't want to do nothing without his brothers being involved, without his family being involved. Hence the reason why the Edwin De Los Santos fight is going to be in Norfolk, Virginia. He wants to bring it back to he's very thankful. He's very thoughtful. He's very loyal. And that's just the way he operates, right? That's why I identify with Keyshawn Davis, right? So Keyshawn responded to this because of that. He saw that he's ranked higher than Shakur Stevenson. Now, Keyshawn says, I'm going to be the greatest to ever do it. Which means if you're the greatest to ever do it, means you got to be better than Shakur Stevenson. So then there's nothing wrong with his rankings. Now, Shakur Stevenson responds, and his response is, you see the ranking system, you see what they're trying to do. They trying to put us against each other. Nobody going to put us against. Stop. Please stop saying that. You are in a sport, a professional sport. You and Keyshawn are not blood brothers. You're not. And I agree, sometimes loyalty is thicker than blood. But you're not blood brothers. You're in the same exact division. You're only a year or two apart. You're both world champions. You're both undefeated. And regardless of whose opinion is at 1, 2, or 3, you're top 3 in the division. So, of course, competitive nature, the fans don't care. Why would the fans, if I'm spending my hard-earned money, why do I care about your loyalty to your friendship to your friend? That's not what this is about. Imagine in another sport, in the NFL, you have players that are safeties and on defense and players that are tight ends and receivers on offense, and they blood brothers. So you ain't going to tackle them? You ain't going to hit them? You ain't going to spark them out? To hell you ain't. You're going to spark them out because it's your job as a professional athlete. Because people pay you millions of dollars for it. There was comparisons at one point in time to Jamel and Jamal Charlo, and they identical twin brothers. Vladimir Klitschko and Vitaly Klitschko. They real blood brothers. Ain't nobody trying to put Keyshawn against Shakur Stevenson other than competition. Because it's a sport. So please stop saying they trying to divide y'all. Nobody's trying to divide y'all. Keyshawn Davis has announced himself as one of the best fighters in the world in your division. And he's a world champion. It ain't no different than people wanting to see you fight Tank Davis. So are we trying to divide you and Tank Davis as young black men? It's the same way we want to see Keyshawn fight Tank Davis. Are we trying to divide young black men because we want to see Keyshawn fight Tank Davis? Please stop saying that. That sounds silly. It sounds bizarre. This is a combat sport, yes. Yes, you are close in family and so on and so forth. Understand, you have an agreement, you don't want to fight, cool. But stop saying that the media and the fans is trying to divide y'all. Nobody's trying to divide y'all. You just want to see the best fight the best. Y'all are not blood brothers. You're in the same division, and you're two of the top 3 best fighters in the division. Why wouldn't people call to see the fight? The fans don't eat breakfast with y'all. The fans don't go on vacation with y'all, play video games with y'all. The fans put the money in your pocket for you to go on vacation. The fans put the money in your pocket to play the video games. They put the money in your pocket to drive the cars, have the jewelry, and do what you do in life. Why would they care that you have a close relationship? It's not their fault you developed the relationship. You should have knew better. Seeing as though you're in and around the same division. So when Shakur is in the same division as Devin Haney, and people wanted to see Shakur and Devin Haney, y'all had a close friendship. Until you said Devin Haney said, or Bill Haney said whatever he said. You made fun of Bill Haney when Bill Haney said, okay, we're going to have a pact. So if you come in the division, we're going to step out the division so we ain't got to be against each other. You made fun of Bill Haney. You recorded Bill Haney. You said Bill Haney was a clown for that. Bill Haney was just respecting you like you respect Keyshawn. Everybody said that Bill Haney was a clown when Bill Haney said, we go to another division then. Let Shakur have this division. Because out of respect, because y'all family broke bread together. What's the difference? But now because y'all had a falling out and now it's on site and now y'all can fight, now all that goes by the wayside? What are we talking about here? And people wanted to see Shakur versus Devin Haney. Was we trying to divide them? And now when you look at the actual resumes, right? I asked everybody this question and I ask you guys. If Keyshawn Davis dominates and beats Edwin De Los Santos at lightweight, does he have a better resume than Shakur Stevenson? At lightweight. Because this list is not for the pound for pound list. This list is for what you did at lightweight. So, let's look at the lightweight division. You beat Josh Padley, Artem Haratinian, Yoshino, and Edwin De Los Santos. If Keyshawn knocks out and beats Edwin De Los Santos in more dramatic fashion than Shakur, he beat Dennis Baranchyk for the WBO title, and he beat Gustavo Lemos and knocked him out. You can make a case at lightweight, Keyshawn has a better resume at lightweight. They will have a common opponent in Edwin De Los Santos. If he beats him in more dramatic fashion, you got to give him an extra point for that. Right? Gustavo Lemos, better than Artem Haratinian. And Dennis Baranchyk was the undefeated champion who beat Emmanuel Navarrete. And it was undefeated. So he's better than Josh Padley and Yoshino. So you can make a case that Keyshawn has the best resume out of the two at 135. It's not hating. It's a logical debate. Because we're not talking about Shakur Stevenson's resume in totality. Overall, he's accomplished more. But at lightweight, has he accomplished more than Keyshawn Davis? No. Now he beats Williams Zepeda. That could even the playing field, right? But again, is Josh Padley better than Dennis Baranchyk, Gustavo Lemos? Is Artem Haratinian better than Gustavo Lemos or Dennis Baranchyk? Whoever you want to face them against. And the common opponent is Edwin De Los Santos. So at worst, you could say their resume at 135 is even. At 135. Now, overall, Shakur has a better resume. He unified the belts. He beat Jamel Herring. He beat Oscar Valdez, right? So overall. But at 135, does he have a better resume than Keyshawn Davis? You could make a case, no. So this top 10 is at 135, not pound for pound list. So you can make an argument. Does Keyshawn have a better resume than Shakur Stevenson? And it's not putting them against each other. It's obvious conversation because it's competition in the same division and they're both champions. Comparing the two is not off limits. What are we talking about? It's not putting them against each other. So that's my thoughts. But y'all drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV or on Words. Your boy Blue signing off. I'm gone. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Peace.